Hey, it's the Refined Reseller. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. Normally, I give tips, tricks, and advice on how to be the best eBayer you can possibly be. But tonight, it's a little more serious. A major Category 4 hurricane is headed my way. That's right, Hurricane Laura will be making landfall along the Louisiana coast in about 4 hours. Fortunately, I live about 75 miles east of where the eye of the storm will be hitting land, and I am not going to get the brunt of the storm. I will still be getting winds, sustained winds of about 50 to 60 miles an hour, with some gusts as high as 80 miles an hour, and I'm expecting to get about 7 to 10 inches of rain. I think I'm going to be okay. I do not flood where I live, so my eBay items are not going to get flooded. I may have some delays at my post office because the post office may be closed for the next couple of days. But overall, I'm very thankful that the eye of the storm and the major impact of the storm is not going to be hitting where I live. It's 75 miles west. They are expecting sustained winds of maybe 100 miles an hour with gusts as high as 150 and maybe as much as 15 inches of rain. The storm surge is the thing that is going to really make an impact. It's going to wipe out some communities along the Louisiana coast, and it's just going to be really bad. So at 12 o'clock midnight, that's the witching hour. That is when the storm is going to be at its most ferocious, and I'm going to take video as the storm rolls through. So stay tuned. Okay, so here is a TV report on the storm. As you can see, this is a huge storm. This is the eye of the storm, as you can see right here, and it is going to be going into Cameron Parish along the Louisiana-Texas border is where it's going to be hitting. I live 75 miles east of the storm. I will be getting some really major bands, some major rain, and winds as high as 75 miles an hour. But again, this is just a huge storm. The water from the storm surge is going to be affecting all of South Louisiana. And again, some cities, not cities, but some towns and communities will be just pretty much wiped out by the storm surge as the water comes in, from the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I just showed you the storm on the TV screen, and I'm walking outside of my front door. There's not a lot of light out here, but you can see from the street lights that it is just starting to rain now. Not much of a wind going on. I would say maybe the wind is blowing maybe 10 miles an hour. Nothing major at this point, but it's coming, and I will give you updates as the storm rolls through. All right, here's the second update. It's about 10:15 now. The wind has picked up a little bit, but it's not raining very hard. I mean, it's coming down. I don't have an umbrella. I don't really need one because the rain is just not that bad. If you can maybe see the trees up here, the wind has picked up. It may be gusting up to maybe 16, 17 miles an hour. I know it's kind of hard to see with not a lot of lighting out here, but again, the wind has picked up. It's becoming a little bit stronger now, and I will give you another update in 30 minutes or so as the storm approaches. Okay, so now I'm in my backyard, underneath my patio in the backyard, and the wind has really picked up. It's kind of funny how hurricanes make landfall in the middle of the night. It's never during the day, at least it doesn't seem to be. I know it's dark out here, you really can't see a lot, but you can hear the wind blowing now. I'm going to say it's probably gusting 35 to 40 miles an hour, and it's only going to get more intense as it gets later tonight. All right, now the wind has really picked up. I'm going to say maybe 45 miles an hour. I think I'm going to go in the front of my house and open the garage and take some video from there. You might be able to see some of the tree movement better. It's now 11:30. The wind is getting stronger. The rain is coming down in sheets. I really don't know how well you can see it, but it's definitely picking up, rattling through the tree up here. All right, back in the garage. It's about 12:15 right now, and this is supposed to be the storm, and some lightning right there. You know, the forecaster used words like devastating, catastrophic. This is not catastrophic. This is just a hard rain right now with a big wind. And sure, it may be 35, 40 miles an hour, but it's nothing as major as I thought it might be. You can see it in the road, the water's starting to get into the road. Never had problem with flooding here, so hopefully there won't be a problem this time. It's definitely intensifying now. I'm saying these winds are at least 45 miles an hour. And the rain is just coming down and is blowing across the street. So it's about 12:30 right now. They said the major part of the storm would be hitting about 12. It's 12:30 now, and it's coming down pretty good. I mean, you know, gust of winds, I would say at least 45 miles an hour. You can see the rain as it's just being blown across the street. All right, it's now 12:45. I just got a notification on my phone that there is a tornado warning for the next 30 minutes in my area. The wind has picked up a little bit. It's still coming down really hard. Again, fortunately, this street does not flood because we're getting a lot of rain right now. A lot of rain in a very short period of time will flood some areas, and it's just not happening right here, thank goodness. But as you can see from an hour or so ago, this wind has definitely picked up. The rain might have intensified just a little bit, but it's the wind that is getting stronger. We're going to check back in about 30 more minutes. That'll put me at about 1:15 as the storm moves through. Okay, it's now 1:30 in the morning. I've been following the storm for a little over 4 hours. It's similar to what it was about 45 minutes ago. The wind may be a little bit stronger. The rain is still coming down at about the same rate. And it's supposed to do this for the next 2 or 3 hours as the storm moves through. It has reached land fully 75 miles west of here, and we're getting these rain bands and these gusts of wind here where I live. Oh, and look at this. This is my next door neighbor, and her tree has fallen down. I don't know if you can see that or not, but the tree has split in half and it is laying in the street. She was kind of worried about that happening. The half that fell down fell in the street, and luckily not on her house. But it was a tree that had some issues, and she was thinking about taking it down anyway, and now she won't have to take down half of it because the wind just knocked it down. I actually mentioned to her the other day, she was looking at it, and I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, I'm thinking about cutting down this tree." And I said, "Well, if a hurricane comes by, maybe it'll blow it down." She goes, "Well, I hope it doesn't blow it on my house." And it did not. It blew it in the street. So I'm going to get a little wet here, but that's okay. So this is going to be it for me. It is 1:30 in the morning. This is the storm, and as you can see, the gusts come and the gusts go. Right now, the wind has calmed down. I mean, it's maybe 25 miles an hour right now, where just a while ago it was about 45. But all right, so I've got an update. I was sound asleep and the wind woke me up. It's 4:30 now, and it's still howling out here. The street is starting to flood. There's water all in the street, and it just kind of calmed down. I mean, just like that, boom. I'm a little protected over here, but you can see the wind really howling off the roof. If I were in an open field or something, it would be much, much, much stronger, but these houses are, you know, protecting me from the wind. All right, it's getting stronger again. I really thought it was going to be over earlier, but these rain bands just keep coming. So here we go again. I mean, it's just picking up one another. So it's now 6:45 in the morning. I'm up again. The rain continues. It started raining last night at 9 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock, so it's been raining consistently for almost 10 hours now. The rain flooding in the streets has gone down. The wind has died down, but the rain continues. This is just a general view of my street. And as I spoke about earlier, the lady's tree right over here has fallen into the street. I'm not sure how many inches of rain we have gotten, but it has been quite a bit. I'm sure there is flooding in some parts of the city. The wind continues to blow, not anywhere near where it was previously, but it is gusting occasionally. We finally have daylight. And I made it through another storm. This is probably hurricane, I would say, in my lifetime, probably hurricane 20 maybe? I'm not really sure. But for the most part, it's pretty much over. It's going to rain like this probably until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And that's the story from the front yard. I'm going to go into the backyard and show you some scenes from there. I'm now in the backyard, and here's a banana tree in my neighbor's yard, a rather large one. And as you can see, the wind has blown it down into my backyard. No big deal. I just cut it in and get it out of here. Here's the wind. It's still coming pretty strong. It's, you know, blowing the trees. And you can hear the rain hitting the patio. come outside, it kind of dies down. I go back inside, it really kicks up again. I just wanted to get an idea that the wind is still coming very strong. You know, of course, it's coming out of the southeast. And just when you think it might be ending, it kicks back up again. So it is now 11 a.m. the day after the storm. The sun was out just a while ago, but just walking down the street, again, nothing major. A tree has fallen in the road. You know, the tree was almost rotten anyway, so I'm not surprised that that happened. I did not flood. The electricity did not go off. And I made it through another hurricane. My dog enjoyed it. First one he's ever been through. So that's it for Hurricane Laura. It has come, it has gone. It started yesterday evening at about 9 p.m. and it lasted until 7 o'clock this morning. So for about 10 hours, we had some pretty heavy rains, wind gusts up to, I would say, about 55 miles an hour. To be honest with you, it was about what I expected. Fortunately for me, my electricity did not go out. Usually in storms like this, it does, but it did not. And I just don't think the force of the hurricane was what most of the meteorologists were predicting. I mean, you always hear words used like catastrophic, devastating, and they actually added a new word to their vocabulary this time, and that word was unsurvivable. Well, it was very survivable where I live. Again, I live 75 miles east of where the eye of the storm hit. I'm sure there was some major damage in that area, but over here, everything worked out okay. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.